All right, when you're looking at these, we're looking at the angles like 0 and 360 at 90 degrees, at 180 degrees, 270. And then again, in the radian form as well, but I'm just going to talk through them in degrees. Okay, as you identify the coordinates at these, so the coordinates are 1, 0 and negative 1, 0. And then here vertically 0, 1 and 0, negative 1. So when you're looking at these coordinates, it still exists on a unit circle, so we're still talking about the x, y coordinates mapping right to the cosine and sine ratios. Okay, so when you're looking at that, if you had to find the cosine of 90 degrees, the cosine of 90 degrees is its x coordinate on the unit circle, so 0. The sine of 90 degrees is the y coordinate on the unit circle, or 1. Okay, so we can also find the reciprocal functions for these. So the reciprocal of cosine is secant. Remember, they don't start with the same letter. And the reciprocal for sine is cosecant. Again, they don't start with the same letter. And so when you look at that, if you take the reciprocal of 0, and what's 1? So 0 is 0 over 1. If you flip it, you get 1 over 0. Can you divide by 0? No. So this becomes undefined. So the secant of 90 degrees is undefined. What about the cosecant of 90? Cosecant is the reciprocal of sine. If the sine is 1 and you flip 1, 1 over 1, when it gets flipped, is still 1 over 1. Okay, so the last thing that you need to be able to do is find the tangent and its reciprocal ratio cotangent. Okay, now, in order to find those, let's take a look a little bit on the unit circle here. If we come back and look at this reference, okay, in this particular angle right here, theta, if I'm looking at the cosine of theta, the cosine is opposite. Opposite is the cosine is adjacent. The adjacent is the length x, and the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse is the radius of this circle. So x over r is our cosine. The sine in general terms for any circle or any point on the unit circle is the opposite y over the hypotenuse r. And then if we look at the tangent here, the tangent is opposite y over adjacent x. Well, let's come back here and look on our unit circle. If we're looking for our tangent on the unit circle, the tangent is y over x. Well, on the unit circle, what does y represent? Which trig ratio? The sine, right? And what does x represent? Cosine. So when you're looking at identifying the tangent and cotangent, you simply use the fact that if we replaced y with the sine of theta and x with the cosine of theta on a unit circle, that relationship holds true. And so what that means is, back up here, the tangent is simply the sine divided by the cosine. So what's 1 divided by 0? Undefined. And the cotangent is the reciprocal of that. So the cotangent is going to be cosine over sine. So what is 0 divided by 1? 0. Okay, so you can go in and you can find the tangent and cotangent of any of the angles on the unit circle by using this relationship. The tangent is sine over cosine. And if you needed to find its reciprocal, the cotangent is cosine over sine. Okay, so you might see those coming up as well.